And this past spring, I had a young man come into my office. I've got an office at my shop in Round Rock. His name was Tommy, and Tommy came into the office there, and he was an angry young man. And he got referred to me and Catalyst. He got referred to Catalyst, and Catalyst sent him to me. And Tommy was a troublemaker. Tommy was a boy who got in trouble in school. He was getting in fights. He didn't have any friends. He didn't get along with people. And eventually he pushed a teacher, and so he landed in the court system. And Tommy came in there, and he did not want to talk to me. He didn't want to do anything. He was just there because he had to be there. And so I worked with Tommy. Initially, we talked about his story. And he told me, he's like, when I was a little boy, my parents divorced. And my brother and I ended up living with my mom. And he said, we lived in a small town in East Texas. And he said it was ideal. It was the ideal life. He said, I knew everybody in school. Everybody was my friend. He said, my mom just loved us and was devoted to us. She's a nurse. And he said, we had a great life. And then 2 years ago, his mom died of cancer. And so he got sent to live with his dad, and he never did get along with his dad. And so now he's living in the big city with his dad. He has no friends. He goes to school, and everything's different for him. So we talked about who he is and how God made him and helped him discover some things about himself that he had completely not seen. And part of the Purpose Project is we help these young people see what it is that's deep inside of them, what's passionate inside of them that they can move towards. And so we did. We laid out a track for him. Now Tommy wants to customize cars, and that's his things that he wants to do. 16 years old, doesn't have a driver's license, and so we started him on a track to customizing cars, which began with, how do you get your driver's license? And we did some baby steps. The last session that Tommy came in to talk to me about, we do 6 conversations, 6 sessions. He was excited when he came in, and this is what he told me. He was like, Ron, I got to tell you this. He said, this last week, he said, my dad and I sat down and we had a great talk. It was such a good talk. And you know what we discovered? He said, we discovered that we each need each other. He said, it's so good.